Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of BrickTier. Does the sound still coming through? I still hear the music of my
It
little
would appear
video.
so.
There we go.
I apologize, everyone. Technical difficulties.
There we go.
Welcome
It's
to
fine.
the fourth episode of BrickTier. Today we will be reviewing the Western Lego minifigures from the 1996 to 1997 line.
Yep, should be some exciting stuff. The Western themes are the most beloved classic themes. It's probably not as high as Castle or Pirates or Space, but it's not too far below them either.
Yes, it is one of the more eccentric lines we've seen. The Lego designers clearly got way more experimental with the designs and the colors and the facial features on these figures, and it has very mixed results. It is a very unique line to discover and explore.
For sure. Take a quick
Today we
look.
have 14 minifigures we'll be going over, which covers the cowboys, the bandits, we have a banker, and we also have some Indians to cover.
Where the happy minifigures. We're actually going to be talking about that. Some interesting face prints, a little bit different than the standard.
All right.
One question for you, by the way.
In the Beyond the Brick video, what did the QR code? That was a special feature for that program. I was trying to get people to assist me in translating the runes built into that Lego model. And if you completed that, you were awarded a prize and the scientific accolades associated with completing the project. Now,
Very
it'll
nice.
likely appear at other Lego conventions as soon as those resume, and you are welcome to join and try and figure it out yourself.
That's very cool. I think I remember seeing things like that, but I wasn't sure if it linked to like maybe you had a website for Lego user group or something.
Yes, it was just a form to send in an application with your answer.
Makes sense. Awesome. Should we move on to the first minifigure for our ranking?
Yes, of course, we are starting with the sheriff.
Sheriff, who is right here.
Yes, as you can see, he has a dark gray, the old dark gray torso. He has a little badge, a red bow tie, and he uses the facial expression from the Pirates line. Very simple stubble, a nice long mustache, very
Love the mustache.
Western. The Western line, of course, introduced the cowboy hat. This is the first iteration of the cowboy hat we ever see in light gray. He has a little star on it, so you know he's a big shot. And he is a very classic figure, very happy, as some people in our audience would say.
Great. Who likes the happy figures? Brick Danger? Yep.
Yes, I would say this figure is very strong. It's a very simple and effective look. It could use a little bit more color, but as it is a very effective figure. I would say this is at least an A. We may be looking at our first S.
I would put him as high as an S personally. He's one of my favorite figures. Actually, I'm not sure if I've seen you guys' pictures. Actually, on my wedding cake, it was Lego themed, and he was one of the figures I chose on the top. So I think I chose like I don't know, one figure to represent all my favorite themes. Like I had my Lego King, of course. I had like a Lego, I think it was Redbeard I had, and I had him as one of them.
Interesting.
And I also
Now,
used him in my Lego Soccer Mania team as well.
let's see what our audience believes about this and whether they have the correct answer. Now, we have some very divisive responses here. We have 2S plus, 1S, two A's, and 1B. We have as someone changed their answer here. Given
Oh, wow.
given this distribution, I believe we can only conclude that this figure is a high S.
High S. I'd be in agreement. Let's bring him into his spot. High S. Well, by high, you actually mean not S plus. Highest of the S category,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Awesome. Frick Danger even thought S plus.
Yes, we have a very well-informed audience so far.
And next, who do we have to look at?
We have the Blue Cowboy. This character is a little bit more generic than the iconic sheriff. He has a unique vest print. It's a brown vest, and it looks like it kind of has the belt print we see with the pirates and the foresters from Lego Castle. It is a very simple and effective look, a little tie around the neck. The colors work together very well. It doesn't pop, and it shouldn't for a Western character like this. It has a very spaghetti Western vibe to this character. I'm not sure whether this character has an exclusive facial print. I don't believe so, but it is unique in the Western line.
Seems fair. Yeah, I think it's a good analysis. It's very plain, but that's what it really should be. He's not anything very particularly special about this ordinary cowboy. So
Yep, he's just out there exploring the West. I would say this character is probably a low A, high B. He's not exceptional, but he is very strong.
low A, high B. That sounds about fair.
Let's view what our audience has to say. We have 2S,
What?
3As.
Oh, even 1 second. Sorry.
Very well, Your Majesty. I will take our audience through this. We have 2S, 3As, 2Bs, and 1F minus, which that is a very contentious opinion, I must say. Overall, I feel like we can only conclude that this is a very respectable low A. Welcome back, Your Majesty.
Apologies for the interruption. We had a little bit of smoke in the oven, but it was fine.
I see. The audience and I have come to the verdict that this character is a low A.
Low A? That sounds fair to me. Let's get him where he belongs. And low A. Awesome. 1S, 1A so far.
Very well. Let's review our final cowboy minifigure.
Which is?
Now, this character is similarly sort of the generic cowboy. He has a nice brown vest and a red undershirt. He has red stars on his vest and little stripes going down it. It is a very nice, very effective style to him. I personally like this a little bit more than the other one, than the blue cowboy. He reuses the Ice Planet 2002 generic character head, which is a little disappointing. He also has a white hat, which blends in a little bit. I think it works pretty well, though. Simple bob color scheme going on here. So I have to say this one is an A as well. Probably a higher A.
All right, that sounds fair to me. I kind of like the facial print overall. It's like it seems like I like the very simple smiley heads. How you add just like face hair, it gives them a little bit more of a personality to them without even changing the expression. I think it's like interesting how they can do that. So just the bangs on them can change up how his whole face looks.
Yes, it's not unique, but it is a very effective use. It looks like a blonde cowboy. It's a very effective look. And what does our audience have to say? 2S plus, 2As,
Wow.
4Bs, curious, 1C, and 1D. Overall, that is slightly lower on average than what we saw for the blue cowboy.
Jack thought it was lower in the audience.
And
Riff named him Steve.
I can't totally disagree. The tan real blonde we didn't see actually introduced until the early 2000s. So I have to concur. This is a low A, high B as well.
Low A, high B. Awesome.
Let's put him behind the other cowboy.
And the other one. That seems fair. Low A, high B, so right here. Awesome. No S pluses yet.
Not yet. We may not see an S plus for this line. While the Western does have some very unique characters, the overall style of them is very inconsistent. Therefore, I don't feel like it would be quite fair to. We wouldn't expect to see the same range of quality that we see in such as Classic Space or Classic Pirates.
Fair to say.
Next, we have our first Indian chieftain. He has a very ornate headpiece, several different colors printed together. It is a very, very colorful piece. It even has a little bit of gold there on the rim, as you can see. A dark turquoise printed on the torso. That is very unusual for this time period. We didn't see dark turquoise have much prominence until Rock Raiders a couple years later. So overall, this character has a very nice variety of colors, perhaps slightly too many. The big downside for this figure, in my opinion, is the facial features. This is a total departure from the Lego style up to now. Most figures had totally dark eyes, no pupils. It was just black eyes, a simple smile, or very reductive expressions. However, with this, we see everything. We have a nose, which looks very out of place. The smile is nice and simple. The face paint looks decent, but the eyes and the nose kill the aesthetics for this figure.
Doesn't look very Lego.
Overall, I have to say this figure is, as much as I appreciate the headdress piece raises it extensively. However, the head it is covering takes it down at least 2 tiers. So overall, I hate to say it, but this character is a C. It's a solid C.
The only demon quad I'd say is I'm very fond of printed pants pieces. A lot of minifigures get a little bit lazy of the pants and just give like a plain one.
That is true. The pants printing is unique to this character, and it is a very curious print piece.
Awesome. Let's see if the audience is in agreement.
1 moment. We have 3S plus, 3S, 2A, 1D, and 1F minus.
Ooh, one person really hated it.
That is a much higher overall than I expected. So given the distribution, I'm willing to compromise and say this character is a high B.
A high B, was that?
Yes.
High B. Let's get him to his place of honor. Very nice. Nice even distribution so far.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have
the Blue Chieftain. This character's color scheme is a little bit more coherent, but it doesn't pop as much as our last Red Chieftain. As you can see, it reuses the same headdress piece, but it is a different face print. You'll notice the face paint. It has a sort of orange face paint that's coming down. The eyes are totally unique as well. While the others had sort of a border, this one has the white blending in to the face paint. And it also has the same hooked nose and crazy smile. Overall, this character is, I have to say, color scheme, much better. It doesn't pop as much. Again, the face brings this down significantly. So I'd say this is slightly above the other chieftain that we saw.
That seems fair to me. One of the other things I like again of the pants is the pants seems to match the same stripe pattern of the shirt, and it seems to blend almost on like a belt effect.
Yes, the color scheme, the two prints work together much well. We see the triangles; they complement each other very well on both on the top torso and the bottom torso. While with our last chieftain, we saw triangles on the leggings, but squares on the torso. So overall, this one may even be an A. Let's view what our audience has to say.
Audience, what do you think?
5S plus.
Wow.
1S, 4A. This is an astonishing result. I was not expecting this character to have such high praise. I still believe this character is not as... This character could have been significantly improved if LEGO used a more coherent design philosophy. However, I will compromise and say low A.
Low A? That sounds fair. I'm surprised he's so high above the other chief. Low A. The lowest of the A's? A little higher.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't beat the white-haired cowboy.
Not quite. Even if he is more unique, I feel like the head detracts significantly from the style of these figures. And they stand out too much.
It seems fair.
Next, we have our Indian woman. Now, this figure I quite like overall. It has nice red dominant color scheme. We also see some dark turquoise around the neck on the necklace. We have a very new head hairpiece with a feather plume on the back, which is also was introduced now, and we even see this piece recycled today. However, another unique thing about this figure is the plume piece actually has printing, the little black feathers on it. So overall, despite the facial features, it doesn't stand out as much as on the Indian chieftains. The face is ugly. It's very ugly, correct. The eyes, it looks, in my opinion, the eyes look slightly better than some of the other Indian figures. However, the nose and the eyes, it stands out too much. Lego finally did figure out how to do a proportional lips now. So you have to give it some credit for this. Overall, this is a high B figure, in my opinion.
I'm in agreement with that. I very much like the bright red, the quiver in back, the hairpiece, and the feather all together. A lot of unique elements to it.
If it had the black eyes and if the facial printing was slightly different, I'd say this character would be an easy A. However, as it is, it's just a B.
B sounds fair to me. Thanks for joining us, BrickFilm Ultra, and Wild P42 too. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Indeed, we appreciate your scientific insight.
Let's see, we had them as, what was it again?
We are reviewing the results now. We have 2S plus.
Let's see.
3S.
Let me go over to this.
We have 2S plus, 3S, 3A, 1B, and 1D. Overall, that is quite strong. I am very surprised.
Yeah.
Despite the inconsistency of the head, the rest of the body design, I suppose if you ignore the head, it is a low A. I'd still put it at the top of B, personally.
Top of B, low A?
I'm overruling our consensus here. Since we do have 1D, that lowers it significantly.
Okay, so high B or low A? What's the final verdict then?
High B.
High B, above the chief?
Yes.
Awesome.
Next, we have
the letters P42's acting. They're like our ranking, so S being the highest and F minus being the lowest.
Indeed. Next, we have the Witch Doctor. We have another unique facial print here. We have a much more detailed face paint going on here, but similarly ugly eyes and nose. Again, Lego noses only existed in a few figures.
Voldemort being one of them, ironically.
Voldemort is something of an exception, I feel like.
Yeah.
Even I believe even one of the more modern Voldemort figures had a nose. The only other characters that had a nose, I believe, are the Orient Expedition from Adventurers and maybe a couple other miscellaneous figures up to the early 2000s. So again, I feel like the headpiece drastically reduces the appeal of this figure. The headpiece is a brown, sort of a buffalo headpiece. I feel like because the horns are brown, it doesn't have a unique printing on it that detracts from this headpiece significantly. However, the torso and the legs are gorgeous. The torso on the bottom half, it's sort of tan, and it wraps right into the leg pieces very well. It's a strong red color scheme going against the brown. So overall, the torso and the legs, fantastic. S material right there. The headdress and the head itself, it is a C or a D, honestly. Overall, you have to average that out to a B.
He sounds fair to me. I love how you'd actually even see the wrinkles in the pants there. It's a nice touch.
Yes, it is a fantastically detailed 90s figure. This is one of the best torso and pants combinations in the 90s, I'd say.
What does the audience think?
We have 1S plus, 3 Bs, and 1 F. So very controversial response here.
S plus and F kind of cancel out.
Indeed. I'd say this is a low B as well.
Low B? That sounds fair to me. Let's get them into the low B section. The lowest of the Bs, would you say?
I hmm.
Beat the chief. Hmm.
I'd put him at the bottom just
At the
because of
bottom.
the head. The headpiece doesn't pop as much as our chieftain.
Yeah, the headpiece definitely used some more color or something to it.
Next, we have our second Indian man. He has a very simple blue and red color scheme. It's a very classic Lego color scheme with tan legs. We also see another unique face print. Lego created several unique face prints for this line, which is very unique, very interesting. Up to now, we've seen a lot more recycling going on. Some red stripes, red and blue stripes on the face paint. Similarly, poorly made eyes and nose. Again, that detracts from it. We have the same headpiece and the feathers from the Indian woman, which I feel are very impressive. Overall color scheme, very strong. Low A is named Jack, was one of our comments.
Yeah, and I think we've named this one Logan. He
He
loves
looks
giving
like a
names to all
Logan.
the figures.
Yes, this is a Logan. Logan is I'd say he's a high B. The this the style of the face print is slightly better than we've seen on most of the Indian figures. The color scheme is fine. The torso and the legs, the color scheme works. However, it doesn't flow as neatly as we see with the Witch Doctor.
That sounds fair to me. Once again, I do like the hair piece and the feather, and I like how the pants has a lot of detail on them.
Yes.
Quick question in the chat. The literature, once again, it's just like the same thing of like grades in school, other than S is the highest. So just a ranking from like S all the way down to F. So S, A, B, C, D, F. So you rank it the highest based on, yeah, Wild P42's got it.
Yes.
Oh, and if you need to vote quick, even though we are a little bit into it right now, there's the link to be able to vote.
We have 1S plus, 4S, 1A, 4B, and 1F. So several people clearly like this figure, and I can appreciate that given the simple color scheme on the torso. That elevates the figure significantly. I'm willing to compromise and say it's a high B, maybe even a low A.
High B, low A?
Yes.
Let's see. High B, low A. We get an even amount of B's and A's. So I guess the question is, where does you rank in comparison to the Blue Chief and the other Indian woman here?
I'd say I personally put him right below the Indian woman, maybe slightly above.
You're one above, so the first of this one?
Let's put him one above. Yes.
Right here?
That's my recommendation.
Okay.
Overall, I feel that the Indian theme was a missed opportunity. We have seen indigenous figures before, like with the Lego Islanders, which appeared as a subfaction of Lego Pirates, and they had continued the tradition of the smiley face and the eye pattern, but they also had unique face paint. And I believe if they merged those design philosophies with these Native American figures, we'd be looking at strong S and S plus figures instead of A's and B's. Next, we have
the cavalry.
Yes, this is the cavalry captain. He has. We see they're sort of based on the Union Jack figures from United States history. I quite love these figures overall. It's a simple blue and black color scheme. We have a gold printing on the torso and even the even the hat. The hat has the cross cutlasses. Overall, this character is somewhat simple. Even the face print, I believe it appeared in some Forrester figures from the mid-90s Castle lines, and it has an Uncle Sam vibe to it.
Uncle Sam vibe, definitely.
Yes, I would say this figure is a strong A.
Okay,
Maybe even an
fair.
S.
That's fair, yeah. I'm not sure if would he be as high as the sheriff?
I'd put him behind the sheriff personally.
I would too. I love the printed decal on the hat there, but yeah, he's got plain pants, and overall, there's not a lot of like detail compared to some of the others.
Yes. However, I believe that simplicity works in the favor of the 90s Lego because the Lego 90s combined both the simplicity of the 80s while adding several new details as well. So overall, the simpler, the better, I feel, with many of these 90s figures.
See what chat
Overall, we have
says.
the Cavalry Colonel at 4S plus, 3S, 1A, 2Bs, and 1C.
Wow, so heavily weighted towards the high end.
Yes, I'd say that would average out to a very low S.
Very low S.
Very low S.
Okay, so put him just behind our sheriff, a place of honor.
All
Very
right.
nice.
Next, we have our Cavalry Lieutenant. This character has a nice white headscarf. The torso piece is recycled, I believe. He has a nice little pocket around his leg. Oh no, this is actually unique. The lieutenants has a totally different style to them on the torso prints. The headpiece is the Kappa cap. I believe that's how it's pronounced. We have seen this headpiece before in Lego Pirates, so it is not unique to this figure. Overall, this character doesn't pop out nearly as much as our Colonel. However, it is still a very simple, very aesthetically pleasing figure. Therefore, I suggest this character is an A, at the very lowest a B. At the very least a B, could be a high A.
The Riffs wants to name him Karen. Nothing about him looks like a Karen.
I do not see the resemblance to a Karen.
He
No.
might speak to the colonel, but not the manager.
Okay, we have 3S plus, 3S, 2A, and 3Bs. So overall, this is a slightly higher on a slightly lower overall distribution. However, everyone agrees this is a very good looking figure. Therefore, I'd say I believe we have to give this character a high to mid A.
Sounds fair to me. High to mid A. So the question is, where does he fall? Does he beat the white-haired cowboy?
I'd say so.
But not the other one?
Not in my opinion.
Okay, that seems fair.
Next, we have our banker minifigure. Now, of course, we can't have a sheriff or bandits without a banker to rob. This character has. This was the time we saw the green $100 bills that have continued to today. They have been the dollar bills were designed in the late 2000s, I believe. However, we have seen $100 bills for the last over 20 years, so it is very nice to see it incorporated into the print here. We see, I believe it is a little pocket watch in the vest, black vest here. The black and the white color scheme. This character is very simple. He doesn't stand out. He's just a civilian character.
Riffs does not look like me in any possible way.
He does look like a John, though. Not a King John.
He was
just
joking, just
a
named
John.
it. A regular John, the banker there.
It looks like John.
And Brick Filmer, BB there, he's just making up names for fun. He doesn't actually know the names.
Yes, most of these figures do not have names. They may have had some in some of the supplementary material. However, most of these characters are just generic characters that you are meant to fill in with your imagination.
Yeah, that's what makes them like a lot of what makes non-licensed themes more fun is you kind of make up whatever story you want for the characters. It's hard to, for example, have an Iron Man figure make up your own story for his like backstory. But you have just like a generic pirate or a knight or a cowboy. Yeah, you can give whatever story you want.
Indeed. Now, there's one other interesting thing to note about this character, and that is the headpiece. We see a simple mustache pattern. The mustache and the smile over the smiley face. We've seen that since the late 90s in town. However, the strange thing about this figure is the eyes.
And he's got a pencil too.
Yes, he has a pencil on his head and glasses. But if you look here closely, you'll notice there is a very slight white pupil here on the eye.
That is different.
Yes, and this isn't the same people we see in modern minifigures. Up until the early 2000s, we've seen both uh, black, no pupil figures and figures with these very tiny pupils, uh, which also appeared in, I believe, Knight's Kingdom and Island Extreme Stunts from 2002. S plus for sure. He has $300. That is very interesting. However, you have to keep in mind this character is about to get robbed.
Everything in Lego costs $100 or a multiple of it. It's a joke.
Yes. Again, because of the eyes, it is inconsistent compared to the others. It doesn't fit with the Indians. It doesn't fit with the other bandits or the pirates. It is unique. However, it does not fit in. I appreciate that. Bring up that last comment.
This one?
No.
The hello?
Lepin Destroyer. I appreciate I appreciate your cause. Destroying Lepin is a very noble goal. I'll say that.
I'm in agreement. Thanks for joining us, by the way.
So, in conclusion, in about the mid-2000s, we see the emergence of the larger white pupils, which have continued to today. By the end of the late 2000s, Lego had a very consistent design philosophy with their minifigures. And up till then, it is kind of a grab bag as far as style is concerned. Overall, though, this character is generic in a good way. So, possibly just a B. Maybe an A.
Yeah, that seems like a fair assessment to me. Epic City Builders added, won't be buying him anytime soon. We were joking about the money in his pocket. I don't think the figure's actually worth 300.
Yes, I believe he's worth about $3 or $4, maybe a little bit more on BrickLink. 2S Plus, 2S, 1A, 2Bs, 2Cs, and 2Ds. So that is very polarized. It is understandable because this character, he does look good. However, he doesn't stand out.
Yeah, anyone playing a Western theme, no one wants to play as the banker.
No, absolutely not.
His job is to get robbed and call for help.
Yes, he is a background citizen character. Therefore, this character is a B. It's just a B.
B sounds fair to me. B for banker.
Yes. I'd put him just above the Witch Doctor, personally.
Awesome. He beats the Witch Doctor. There we go. Banking is a better profession than Witch Doctor ring.
Next, we have our Blue Bandit. Now, this character, I have very mixed feelings about. It's a wonderful brown hat. I'm not sure if we see a brown hat in any of the other figures. I'm sure we do somewhere. He has the black neck scarf and a little green tie beneath it on the print. A wonderful black jacket, black pants, and a black belt, and a blue undershirt. It is a very nice spaghetti western style to have.
A revolver tucked into his belt too there.
Yes, good observation. This character exudes a sense of menace. He's clearly here to start trouble. Yet there's a sense of, this character has a sense of style too. He's stolen enough money, he can dress himself however he wants.
I'm not sure if you've noticed, his bandana is actually reversible, so it becomes a face covering if you turn it around.
Yes.
He's robbing.
It is it's a very nice neck piece. The headpiece is sort of a combination of it's a perfectly 90s style headpiece because it both has the simple black eyes, but it also has all these other crazy details. It's not as simple as
ugly gets.
Yes, it is quite ugly. It is overall, this character, the face brings it down significantly, I'd say. There's a little bit too much going on. He has sort of, we don't actually see his face. We see his bottom lip, which is sort of, it has this flustered expression. Like he's about to cause trouble.
I see him as like a living wanted poster. You take a wanted poster and make the ugliest possible mugshot of the person. Like he's a living wanted poster. So I always had fun of him when I was younger, making him.
Yeah, he looks like he is currently biting his lip. He looks like he's preparing to shoot someone. Really great bandit S.
Agrees.
Yeah. This headpiece isn't nearly as bad as we've seen with the Indians or some of the other bandits. However, it is not it's not. It stands out just a little bit. Overall, this character it's still an A. This character is an A.
Is
Yes.
the audience in agreement?
3S plus.
Wow.
3S, 1A, 2 Bs, 1 C, and 1 F minus. That
You
is
gave him an F
very
minus.
controversial. Overall, I'd say that averages out to a low A.
Low A.
Correct.
I'm not sure if it's still true today, but if I remember, this figure was very popular with kids, despite like the design flaws to it.
Yes, that is understandable. I feel that in retrospect, we have a much more holistic view of what a minifigure should look like because we've seen all of these iterations of the figures.
You said the A range?
Yes, I'd put him as at the bottom A.
Bottom A, below the chief. Okay.
Yes. Next we have Mr. Ugly.
Mr. Ugly.
The Red Bandit. This character is clearly just a thug. He's the Blue Bandit's accomplice. He has the brown hat as well. He just has a red undershirt and the overalls, a simple old gray pants, and the neckerchief to hide his face, hide his identity. Or maybe he just wants to hide that ugly mug because this is the ugliest head. This is one of the top 3 ugliest heads we have seen in all of LEGO history. This is worse than all of the Chima heads, all the Simpsons heads, and this is up there with the LEGO Islanders, the LEGO Island Extreme Stunts criminal head prints.
Does it even beat the original printed Squidward head? Even uglier than that.
This is significantly uglier. Yes.
Yeah, Chad's just eating this one up.
Yes. He has teeth going everywhere, and the mustache looks disgusting. It blends in. The mustache blends in with the mouth, the half-open jaw. The nose is worse than any of the Indians we've seen. He has this squinted facial expression. It is his eyes. He has a tiny black eye. He has little black eyes, but then he has whites of the eyes all around it. He has this character is disgusting. Like, not in a good way. This is a abomination. This is F- material.
The only saving grace, I think, is I did include the bandana, so if you reverse it, it might cover his at least terrible dental situation.
That is correct. However, it does not cover his disgusting eyes. And the torso print this guy is clearly just the thug. This character is the brute, probably an alcoholic, probably smoked way too many cigars. Therefore, this character is an F-. I'd say this character might even be an F-.
Wow. And BB, that's actually not correct. We actually were talking about a lot of the native figures that get early in the show actually do have noses. We were critiquing that a bit.
The Western figures were some of the only figures to have a nose. I believe some of the...
Just loving these comments.
Yes. Yes, this character clearly deserves the head separator.
You're meant to hate him. You're meant to like beat him up, fire him through your Western cannon, put him in the jail, everything. Yeah.
But this is disgusting even beyond this. This is beyond the pale. LEGO never should have made this character. Therefore, F-. This is the lowest of the low of any figure we've covered on BrickTier so far, and we will never see a figure this disgusting again.
I will call him a G even.
G doesn't do this character credit. This is a Z-. Z.
Z-. Does Chad agree?
We have 3S plus. Several people are clearly wrong. 2S, 4A, 1B, and 1C. Chat, you are vehemently incorrect. This is F-.
F-. Chat's eating it up. Thank goodness.
Yes, move this character to F- immediately.
So good. I've told the story before, but my Lego castle, my brother used to always pick the ugliest heads possible, and he'd swap it out with the princess figure's head. So I wouldn't notice for a long time, because the princess was always just stationary while I played in my night. So it'd be like a month later, I'd pick up the princess and suddenly have a hideous face. And I'm pretty sure he used that face at one point, and it would always startle me.
Well, he is clearly a war criminal.
Yeah, both the professor and chat, they really hate this guy. They're gonna have nightmares. We gotta make a
Uh,
t-shirt of him on it or something.
I should make a list of my most hated Lego minifigure heads because I have a list of over a dozen. These heads are disgusting. They never should have been made.
That'd be a good video. Lego's ugliest minifigures. We should do that sometime. Oh, what if we did an episode on the ugliest minifigures and just of all the themes?
No.
No. too much suffering. Chat would not be able to handle it.
Okay, let's move on, please. Next, we have the Green Bandit. Now, this character is a bit of a mixed bag. It's the same tier, I'd say, as our Blue Bandit. We have a gold tooth on the head. It's a simple mustache. Yes, he has a very cool top hat, brick filmer. I quite like the hat piece. We've seen this hat piece appear various times throughout the 90s, mostly in Lego Town. And the greatest takeaway from this figure is the torso. The torso for this figure is incredible. This character is clearly has a lot of wealth given his top hat and snazzy green suit. This character has stolen a lot of money. He's also implied to be some sort of gambler. Look at all the little card symbols he has on it.
Does he come with any cards? I think I've seen him with some like little card printed pieces.
Yes, I believe the Western set did include some card
implied he's a cheater at card games.
Yes. He's clearly affiliated with the other bandits. He has a little golden tooth, probably replaced with solid gold. He has kind of a squint. He has a nice poker face going on. Overall, this character still has a lot of issues. He doesn't have a nose, fortunately. Torso is an improvement. This is one of my favorite torsos in all of the Western sets. It is we have green by this point is somewhat common, but not extremely common. And another note about the head, you'll see kind of the on the chin, he's kind of flustered, clearly aggravated. And another thing you see on one of the buttons, there's a rich wristwatch attached to it, hidden off screen. It's a nice little gold, several colors going on here. We have gold, black, red, all on this lovely green print. The torso, I'd say, brings this character up to an S. The head just subtracts from it significantly, I'd say. Even though this is much more consistent with the Lego 90s scheme we've seen up to now, it's a little bit too much of a departure than I'm comfortable with. Therefore, this character is just an A, I'd say. I'm open to being persuaded to a low S.
I'm trying to think, what would this guy's poker face even look like? You're saying he has a very good poker face. If he had good cards and he didn't have a good poker face, how would he even look smiling? I think it'd be terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we have 4S Plus. That's the highest we've seen. 2S, 4B, and 1F. 1F, I understand your vehement hatred of the head. Wait. And none of you said F. And none of you said F for the red. I'm astonished and disappointed. Overall, that would average out to a respectable A.
Respectable A. Interesting. Such a divide from the other bandits. Neither of them are very attractive fellows. So
no. But our last Green Bandit, he clearly has significantly more style.
Where would we put him?
I have to say I like him slightly more than our Blue Bandit. This character is clearly the mastermind.
Look at that divide. He's clearly the dunce of the group in comparison.
Yes. And that is all 14 of the most unique Western minifigures, all ranked.
Pretty good. Very sharp divide though. So there's no C, D's, or F's, but an F minus there. And let's scroll up a little bit so you can see the top. No S pluses either.
No, this character, this line has some of the most unique designs in the 90s, that is both a significantly positive and negative attribute. And overall, we have some very unique designs going on here, and I really this line is very unique to study.
I'd be in agreement. Yeah. Once again, I think I said in an earlier show, but it's not quite up there of Space Castle Pirates, like beloved classic themes. That Western definitely is a very good one.
Yes. We also saw the introduction of horses with this line,
Oh,
and
that is true.
we have various buildings. This line is one of the most unique of any Lego line before since.
Awesome. I'm going to download the chart as usual, and I'll be posting in the Discord. If anyone's not in our Discord, like to join us, let chat know, and we'll drop you a link. There we do a lot of things. We share mocks. We have contests. We have another weekly live show where we feature those. So let me know. This will be posted in there shortly.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss about this week's lineup of the Western minifigures?
Nothing I can think of, but the riffs just tell me to share everyone what he just pinged me. So let me take a look quick and see if that's anything relevant.
Very well.
Not there in here. Let's see. Isn't that the figure we already saw? He sent me a picture of the red bandit there in the F-. Riffs, what did you want me to show about that one? That's the same picture I already got up there.
I do not want to see that again.
Yeah. We won't make everyone suffer that again. Epic City Builder says do a wacky one soon, like Donald Duck and the Bugs.
Next week, we are doing Classic Town, which is all of the golden age of town figures we've seen from the 80s up to the 90s. Several simple, elegant figures.
Are we sure we want to do town? I don't know.
Why wouldn't we?
Maybe we can think of something better.
Look, we'll discuss this later, but next week it's going to be Classic Town. It is going to be phenomenal, and that is going to be our big finale. Our final show of BrickTier, so make sure you do not miss that.
Yep, it'll be a good show for sure. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.
What?
What?
Never mind. Never mind. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you
for our 4th episode of BrickTier, and until next time, play well.
Play well, guys.